Hello, my beautiful Virgos. Happy birthday. It's your month. So, for September, we're doing 4 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sun, which is the external, your spirit, what you want the world to see. Moon, subconscious, things you keep hidden. Intuition. The shadow side, and I've done an advice column for you. I'm a bit choppy today, so bear with me. Your reading is very interesting, and I think you're going to be doing a lot of reviewing this month. The reason I say that is because underneath the deck for the Sun is the 6 of Hearts, which in the standard deck is the 6 of Cups. And that's about childhood, the past. It could be somebody coming back from the past, but I think in this situation it's going into your past and really looking at it, letting things go, being grateful for certain things, keeping what you need and letting go of what you don't, because down in the last week you've also got the 6 of Cups coming up. So off we go. In the first week you've got the Page of Hearts, which is the Page of Cups coming through, and this is a beautiful card. It's just a beautiful card. Although, if you have a look, she's heart-centered, and there's no gender here. She's heart-centered, but the branches are divided. It's a message coming through, as in through, from one side to the other. And that can be from spirit to you. It can be from another person to you through spirit. It can be another person to you through any other forms of communication. But it seems to me like it's a very emotional message. It's a message of love, compassion, worth. I'm hearing worth. Anyway, week 1, there'll be something coming through that makes you feel loved from one side to the other. Just then, it's like it's a set of lungs. If you look here, there's a set of lungs and the sternum down the middle. It's like this will give you some breathing space. A real breather. And it's a grounded breather. It's like a relief. Anyway, so that's the first week. Underneath that is the 8 of Pentacles, which is all about work. Work on self, really setting up and developing the work. And I love the spider web, because a spider web is in the shape of a spiral, and the light path isn't a direct path, it's a spiral. So you go round and round and round and elevate, get wider as you go on, you learn more and you develop more. So I think that's what this is looking at. This breather gives you, see, I'm almost panting. This breather gives you the ability to continue working on yourself and developing yourself. It gives you the reinforcement. This message gives you the reinforcement you need to keep diving into your shadow side and developing your self-worth and your self-love. Because the advice for this month is power, and I love that. She's standing right in front of the full moon, which is circular, so it's like a cycle. And if you look at the first card in the next week, it's the same position, both standing in front of the moon or the sun, whichever way you want to look at this card. But it's a real power stance. She's got her arms wide open. He's got his arms crossed, but they're not crossed across his chest. They're very calm. So it's like, use your power to bring in the spiritual strength that you have. You already have it. If you need to talk to the moon, then talk to the moon. If you need to, I would suggest at the full moon, putting out your intentions and letting things go. It's a real release of the full moon. So that leads right into the second week, and you've gone from the Page of Hearts to the Knight of Hearts, and I love that progression. I really do. This could be a relationship. It could be a relationship with somebody else that you've been working on. But I don't get that. I get this month as a real working on yourself month. The reason is, in the shadow side, the Knight of Cups comes out again with justice in the middle. So you've got, this is how it looked to me, the Knight of Cups, justice, and the Knight of Cups. And that is a very balanced inner and outer world. It's a very fair, what you see is what you get, stable, standing in your self-worth, your knowing of yourself, giving love to others because you have love for yourself. And the justice is the balance of the scales and the reward that you are getting for the hard work of looking into yourself. And that's a beautiful position. That these three cards in that position, the external and the internal, is so living in your authentic self. It's beautiful. And this is coming in for you, and this is what you're sitting in. It is second week. You are so calm, serene, sitting in your worth, and it is just beautiful. It's just, the advice for this week is that you are in the perfect position to be assessing what you need to assess, what's still hidden, because you're so balanced, emotionally balanced. It won't be turmoil this time. It will be a very clear, calm, spiritual, purple, higher self, really, it's like, see how calm she is, and she's looking towards the future. She's assessing, okay, I'm really loving myself, loving where I am, being able to give to others. So what do I want to do next on the path? Where do I want to go next? Because I don't want to stay stagnant, obviously. I want to continue developing and growing and giving. So followed by that is discernment. And Virgos are brilliant at this. Virgos are known for being very discerning. They're an earth element, so they're very stable, but they're very good at discriminating and analysing things. So when you're looking to the future, use your discernment, use your third eye. Don't let the clouds cover that. Keep your heart, this is beautiful, keep your heart open, but also don't let your thoughts become overwhelming. Stay in the heart space that you are currently in and continue that. Be discerning with where you go from now, how you get there, and where you're coming from in order to progress forward. Beautiful, beautiful combinations. The third week, it again follows on from the advice card. So to me, this is beautiful because it means that Spirit's got your back, and the advice they're giving you, you are hearing and taking. The third week is the retreat, which is all about going in. It's the Hermit card in the normal tarot, and it's a real case of going within and assessing and discerning where you are from, you know, your origins of depth, and where you want to go from now, the progress you want to make. And the Hierophant is in the shadow side. Now, to me, the Hierophant is all about structure and what is the word? Spirit. Institutions. Religious institutions. Education institutions. Very structured, very routine, very based on rules and regulations. It's not very individualized. Now, to me, when you're going to retreat and to contemplate, it's a real warning to me, this card, of do it in your own way. Do it for you and not how others have told you to do it. Because this is another thing you're going to have to work through. Virgo is very good at working diligently and dutifully. It's like doing as you're told. So this might be a sign to step out of that old way of thinking and contemplate your next step based on not what everybody else wants, but what is best and right for you, what sits true for you. Because the advice here is the acceptance card, and I love that. It's not only acceptance of others, it's acceptance of self and origin. We are of Source. Source is completely and utterly within us. And we don't need 3D rules and regulations to find ourselves and accept ourselves and determine for ourselves where we go next, what is right for us, and what is for the highest good of not only us, but for others around us. And because we can't operate and provide the highest good for others around us if we are not coming from authenticity in ourselves, because it's still a mask that we are providing for others. We have to be vulnerable and authentic in ourselves. And in order to do that, we have to find ourselves in the first place. So that's what this is saying. Week 2 is beautiful because it gives you this peace and the tranquility and the certainty in your worth and your value. And to then take the next step and go that extra step in. I have found self-worth. Now let's calmly and in that worth find out what is truly my path. Find out that I am worthy of finding out what is right and important for me, what matters for me, what I can gift the world from my inner truth. In week 4, the final week of September, we've got the 7 of Angels. Now, this is usually the 7 of Swords, which can talk about deceit and trickery and theft and double-sidedness, double-faced. But in this card, it's all about progress. A lot of the times when I look at the 7 of Swords, I look at turning your back on what no longer serves you, leaving what doesn't work anymore, thoughts and beliefs, and taking what works. And I think in this deck, that's what she's saying. It's progress. You are making progress. Continue to make progress. And she's loving and she's supportive of that. You have the backing to continue to make progress. And because the past came up in the overall energy and in the final shadow position, I think the next step is looking at how you are still carrying things from the past, be they beliefs, tied emotions, cords of negative attachment that you no longer need, or that are holding you back. And calmly, because you're sitting in this beautiful, beautiful, enviable energy of self-love and balance, you can release things from your past without necessarily having to go through turmoil and emotional upheaval to do it. You can do it from that loving center where you really look at you and those who may have impacted you in the past from a loving, compassionate perspective. And you can thank it and release it beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. So this reading doesn't have to be hard work, peace, withdrawal and trauma. It doesn't have to be that. In fact, I don't see that at all. I see it as beautiful. Beautiful. You are probably the most on the path reading I've done for this month. It is a beautiful example of the light path that we're all walking. It is truly a beautiful example. The last advice card for the 4th week is darkness. And this can talk about depression, the dark night of the soul, but I don't see it like that at all. I see it as something absolutely beautiful. You look at that card. I'm just trying to get rid of the light. That rabbit is so still, so quiet, and the path is lit. It's not hidden, it's clear. but he doesn't feel like he has to move along it. He doesn't have to rush. He doesn't have to skip and hop. And even though the moon, the moon is covering the sun, you can still see the sun. And it's a real beautiful balance of light and dark. Again, coming back to the second week, where you've got that beautiful inner outer balance. And here it is again. It's a real beautiful balance. And it's actually visibly beautiful to see the light coming from behind the dark. They're in balance. And he's just looking at it, completely accepting. It's stopped on the path to just stop, contemplate, and really dwell in the love and acceptance that there is light and dark, there is good and bad, there is hot and cold, night and day, heartbreak and joy. And that's part of the beauty of existing, of living. The darkness doesn't have to be frightening. The unknown doesn't have to be scary. The past doesn't have to be depressing. It's all how we look at it. And I think that is beautiful, beautiful spirit advice. I just, yeah, it almost makes me overwhelmed when I see that. There's a real peace. I was just about to say the real scented peace, and my dog, well, the dog I'm babysitting decided to agree with that. Yeah, look, Virgo, I think this is the most beautiful reading I've done, and I think it's a beautiful gift for you. And every reading I'm doing, just as a light fluffy ending, I'm doing a card out of the Rebel deck. So if you know, if you get offended or anything, turn off now and enjoy the zen of that reading. But I'll see what light fluffy advice we can get for you for the month of September, your birthday month. Oh, there's 3. We'll take the dot one. Don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone. It says on the back, you need some fucking time alone, and you know why. And I think that's perfect for this. You don't need other people around you. It's all about you. You are zen, you are centered, you are standing in your authenticity, and you are, just like I said, go you good things. I should post this as the poster reading for the light path. Anyway, my loves, I hope you enjoyed this, and please let me know how you go with this. I hope it resonates. Love to you all. Hugs, kisses. As always, see you next month. Bye.